We've warned you about Hampton's rise, Hendy's rise. Next up will be Harvey and Travis Hunter. Warned everybody about Jaguar, Krosky, Merritt, Bill. Hunter and Harvey will be next. We've done the Harvey videos over and over and over. I'll continue to make some, don't worry. But right now we're talking about this man, Travis Hunter, who has top 12 wide receiver appeal as a rookie. You may not think so. I'm here to try and convince you otherwise. And I'm also going to show you how to reach on a player like Hunter or like Hendy or like Harvey and not have it burn your entire draft. The Fantasy Football Show, the Travis Hunter Goes to the Moon show. Moonshot, baby.
To the moon.
Begins now.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Top 12 wide receiver material. You're either on board or you're not. We're going to not allow any more people on the train here in the next couple of days. So simmer on that. Make sure you decide what you want to do before the doors close permanently. Hunter's got top 12 wide receiver appeal. Now, here's the crazy part. If you play an IDP, he is a cheat code. And this is very important to listen to right now. If you go to your projections and you look at the entire wide receiver group, you look at the entire overall group, you look at the entire defensive group, you look at the entire cornerback group, defensive back group, tell me where he's ranking. If he ranks number 2 out of all wide receivers, or he ranks in some cases number 2 overall, this is crazy. That means he's a first-round player. People actually come to me and say, Smitty, where do I take Travis Hunter, Smitty? And I say, where is he projecting? Well, what do you mean? Look at your projections. Everybody's scoring is a little different. Well, I mean, Smitty, he's projected to be the number 3 overall player, number 1 wide receiver, number 1 cornerback. But where do I take him? Second round? What makes you think you're getting him in the second round, Steve? What makes you think you're getting him in the second round? At the end of the day, you're talking about, what did I spill on myself today? I had a sandwich. I spilled it all over, obviously. What makes you think you're getting a guy that's projecting to be in your scoring format, number 2 overall, number 3 overall in the second round, Steve? I don't understand it. But if you go to your projections and project it out, and you see him scoring that high, let me tell you, I've got news for you. He's going to be better. Whatever your platform is projecting in IDP for Travis Hunter, let's say it's wide receiver 4. Everybody's scoring is different. You have to look at it. Go to projections, sort by whatever, and it's going to use your scoring format. But I have news for you. If he ranks number 4, he's going to be better. Why? Because the formats and platforms that have this guy projected, they're lowballing his wide receiver production. I venture to say that you're looking at something like 806 TDs on almost every platform. That's what he's getting. Even getting this low ball number, let's call it 55 receptions for 806. This is ranking him in many cases as the number 2, 3, 4, 5 overall player. It's ranking him as the number 1 wide receiver. It's ranking him above Ashton Genty in points in a lot of IDP formats. And this is off of low ball projections. So what I'm here to tell you is that in IDP, he's getting so much more than that. I believe he's going to be 80, 1,100, and probably 8 to 10 touchdowns, and that's receiving. And I believe he's going to add an additional 150 to maybe 200 rushing yards and an additional 3 TDs, let's say. That puts him at a max of, let's call it 13 TDs. In fact, I'm just going to put this at 10 and lock it in. 13 total touchdowns, 1,100 yards plus the 150 or even 200 rushing. I really think he could. That's 1,250 to 1,300 yards, 80 receptions, 13 total touchdowns. He's going to be magnificent. And if you add those extra numbers that I'm giving him to what the platforms are projecting, you've got by far and away a first round pick. So that's an IDP. So in a non-IDP league, we're still talking about, let's call it 82. Let me redo it. 82 receptions. And this is what I really kind of feel. It'll be 1,150. That was my low ball number just to give the IDP platforms a different look. Like, what are you expecting? I think he gets between 1,150 and 1,200 yards receiving. I really do. He's playing 80% of the snaps. I don't want to hear anybody go, but what if he plays DB? I'm so worried about him playing DB. He will play DB. And his goal is to play 80% offense, which he'll do immediately, plus 80% on defense. And you might balk at that. Somebody told you to. You're regurgitating what somebody already said. All the other shows will tell you over and over and over, Smitty, according to our reports, nobody can do that. We've got former defensive backs saying it can't happen because if it could, that they're admitting that they didn't try hard. Sherman said it can't happen. I don't care what anybody says. Who is anybody to predict what this kid can do? He is a different player. And if he wants to do this, he's going to do it. If he wants to play 80 and 80, he's going to do it. And there's no other player in the history of the NFL or college football that is trained to do it. He did it in college. 81 to 82% of the offensive snaps and 81 to 82% of the defensive snaps for 2 years in a row. And he so consistently did it. 2 years in a row. He's already done it. Has he done it at the pro level? No. But has anybody done it at the college level? No, he has. So he's the one that you could ask, hey, could you do this? Will you hold up? Oh, he's going to get hurt. Good for you. Don't draft him then. 82 receptions, 1150, and I'm going to say 10 touchdowns receiving, like I said a minute ago. I'm going to give him 100. I'm going to give him 200 rushing yards. That might seem crazy to you. It doesn't matter. It's a different player. We've never seen a player like this before. This doesn't mean he's getting rushes up the gut. Well, that adds to his injury risk. It doesn't. He's playing wide back. He'll play wide back in Liam Cohen's offense. What is wide back? It's not getting the football behind the quarterback, lining up an I formation. This is a wide back, out wide, at or behind the line of scrimmage, catching the ball. And it's like getting thrown the ball to 5 yards down the field. It's no different. The only difference is you get momentum. You're treating it like a kick return in many ways. Debo would catch it, a screen, and just have open lanes everywhere. It doesn't add any injury risk. You're just catching a normal football. You're just getting it at the line of scrimmage and treating it like you're a running back. But from out wide, it's not like you're going up the gut and getting smashed by 300-pound linemen and driven into the ground. So it doesn't add extra injury risk. 200 rushing yards and 3 TDs. There might be some end arounds. This is what he's going to do. An end around, a jet sweep, everything to the outside, stepping back behind Trevor Lawrence, which will make it a run. He catches it. He runs in. Trevor Lawrence doesn't get a touchdown on that specific situation. And then T-Law throws 2 TDs, and one of them didn't, the one that he threw to was a run, and everyone's like, how can T-Law do this? How can T-Law support it? Because at a lot of the times, it will be Travis Hunter that creates the opportunity. He's going to get the ball. Remember Jimmy Garoppolo? Jimmy Garoppolo would step back, and he'd say, Debo, take it. Debo would get the ball and say, I'll handle this from here. And Debo would run into the end zone from 40 yards out, and he would take care of everything. It would be on Debo, not on Jimmy. So if T-Law finishes as QB7 and he has 2 top 10 wide receivers, it's going to make sense and pencil out because some of the production will be an end around. Some of it will be a wide back reception that turns into a run because he lines up behind T-Law when he catches it and he runs it into the end zone, and T-Law doesn't get that production. T-Law doesn't have to be a top 5 quarterback to produce 2 top 10 wide receivers, especially with this running monster. Like this line, even if he had 9 or 8 touchdowns, let's say he had 900 yards receiving and 75 receptions. If he has 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns and 200 yards, he's still a top 10 wide receiver. The thing that I think is going to maybe change some things, like ADP wise, trade value wise, where people see him, how many people start believing in him, is it's going to take him to play games. I think this is a player that he may rise, he may not, heading into week 1. I kind of think he won't. So when I say this is the next guy to go up, go get RJ Harvey before his value goes up, this might be a player that we come out of week 1 with the value increasing, and any trade opportunities are down the drain. Now, if for any reason on the flip side of that, Hunter goes out and has a bad week 1, we're buying. He'll be one of the best buy low players walking into week 2 that we've seen in a long time, because people will be very reactionary, knee-jerk reactions right away. But I just don't think he's going to have a bad game. And once people see him deliver and how quick he is, and if he goes untouched into the end zone on an end around and catches 80 yards and 5 receptions, he's going to go through the roof, and you're not going to be able to trade for him. So in existing leagues, go get him right now. Trade 5th round value for him and don't look back. I'm not saying take him in round 4. On Underdog, he goes in like the 4 or 5 turns sometimes, but that's Underdog, which is promo code Smitty, link in description, by the way. Minimum of $10 will match your first deposit 50%. Draft with us. We draft every single midnight Eastern on the channel here. So do that now. It's in the description. Don't wait or you won't get into the drafts. But we draft every night practically at midnight Eastern. But I think you're probably looking at a mom and pop league, a home league in the 6 to 7 round range for Hunter. His ADP is still there. Best ball, it's going to be 5 to 6. You can get lucky sometimes. So ADP is right there. This is best ball. This is for your non-best ball. And I think it stays like that all the way into week 1. And so you have an opportunity to accumulate as much Travis Hunter value as you can walking into week 1. But once week 1 kicks off, we come out of week 1. So week 1 is over. I think you're just going to be racing into this live stream and saying, Smitty, what do I have to give up for Travis Hunter? Can I give up my 3rd round pick that I drafted for Travis Hunter? Smitty, T. Higgins, and a running back like this guy. And you're going to be paying way over what you would right now. Like, go get him now. The negativity's out there. The red flags are being called out, even though they're not good. Question mark, question mark, question mark, Smitty. What do I need to do? How do I get Hunter right now? Or how do I get rid of Hunter is what people are saying. Maybe I made a mistake. Buyer's remorse. I'm hearing a lot of negativity. Go get him now. The red flags are nothing. They're absolute trash. This kid is one of the most electric players in the National Football League right now. He plays 80% of the offensive snaps right now. That doesn't change. And the way people talk about him, it's almost as if they're acting like he's learning the position. And I think people just have an instinct to say it that way or think of it that way because he's learning how to play both positions in the NFL. So they kind of capture that maybe he's trying to learn more than the average player. Like, he's not the typical wide receiver. He's got a lot more to learn. And then people say this phrase. You hear this a lot.
It's a lot easier to learn. The DB position is a more natural position than the receiver position.
He's not learning anything. He was the number 1 wide receiver prospect in the draft class. People forget that when they say that. And when they say that, people hear it and they listen differently and they respond differently. And they're like, they start in their head imagining this guy's like really green and raw. And he doesn't know how to play these positions. He is one of the most gifted physically athletes to ever come out of college. And he was by far and away the number 1 wide receiver prospect in a very good wide receiver class. Ted McMillan was in it. Igbuka's going to be phenomenal. This is by far the number 1 prospect at the wide receiver position and the number 1 defensive back. He's not learning anything different than any other rookie. He doesn't have to absorb more. He's not behind schedule. He's not a convert from one position to another. He is an elite wide receiver. And now is the time to buy him. And if you were to reach, let's say, and this is the kind of lesson I'm going to leave you guys with. Let's say you're drafting in rounds 5 and 6, and you're saying, I want to take 105. I know I'm reaching a little bit in my grandma league. In best ball, you kind of have to take him at 5, but in a non-best ball, kind of feel like it's pushing the ADP's, it's pushing the limits. But I feel like a couple guys like Hunter, what if I take him here at the top of 5? How do I recover from that? Is this bad? I won't get him if I don't take him here. My answer is take him. All you got to do at this pick here, 5, which will give you a bottom of round 6 pick, right? Make sure you land this pick. I know that sounds very obvious, but if you smash this pick, you'll make up for the reach there. Meaning if the player you draft here can arguably be said to be a 5th round pick, like, hey, that guy belongs in 5, then you wash the reach is completely washed. So example would be if Harvey were to fall. Harvey is by far and away the biggest steal in fantasy football right now, in my opinion, and he belongs in 5. If you if you luckily get him in 6, this is a guy you draft here without a hesitation. And so in a sense, you're kind of swapping these values. And at the end of the day, you walk out cleaning up. You reached on Hunter. You got a steal here of a player you would have drafted here anyway. And now the reach doesn't matter. You eliminated it. And the same thing could be said for, and I just want to get this out here because people ask me this all the time. What about if I'm in round 3 and 4? And so you have a late round 4 pick, right? You have the 2-3 turn. So this is round 2. And you take a player here. Let's just say whatever. And then right here, you're like, but I'm taking Hendy. Is it too early to take Hendy, Smitty? It's not if you smash your 4th round pick. If the player you get here is arguably a player you could draft in round 3, then the same thing applies. Then the reach here doesn't matter. Because then if I flip it and I say, okay, you're taking, let's call it JD5. Let's say JD5 were to fall. You could make an argument that JD5 is a home run 3rd round pick. You try and get him later, but he fell. And now you can say, if I was to take him here and Hendy were to fall here, would I have smashed my draft? And the answer is hell yeah, you would. And so if you make this count, you don't take a player here that doesn't belong here. You make this player scream, this was a 3rd rounder. I got my 3rd rounder here. And now my reach on Hendy that should be kind of 4th rounder, even though he can be a top 5 running back, by the way. He's going to be a top 5 running back. Buckle up for it. But value-wise, ADP game. We're playing the ADP game. Smash. Home run. Draft this guy with confidence. And don't put yourself in a position where you're trying to scramble to trade for him. Even though his ADP probably won't climb a ton between now and kickoff, you still want him. And if you don't pick him at the right spot and grab him where he deserves to be grabbed in that 5-6 round range, you're going to be trying to trade for him later and you won't get him. So don't forget, I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm live additionally whenever news breaks. I'm live also at midnight Eastern almost every single night. Don't forget my Patreon. That link is in the description. It's a 24-hour live chat group. I'm in it. We're all in there 24/7. Just answering trade questions, talking football, talking movies, and during games, every game, all day Sunday morning, all day Sunday afternoon, after the Sunday night game, before the Sunday night game. We're all packed in the game day lounge chat that's in this Patreon that I have. And so we're just in there just talking constantly. And don't forget, if you need draft help, don't miss out on my rankings, 24/7, 365 rankings. Also, trade calculator throughout the year, the waiver wire advice, the add drop, the rise decline advice, the bold predictions, all of it, 365, 24/7, thefantasyfootballshow.com. That link is also in the description. I'll see you all later. Again, live every single weekday, 8 p.m. Eastern, live whenever big news breaks, and live almost every single midnight Eastern on this channel, drafting live with you at midnight. See you all later.